How you doing, everyone? My name's Amin, and today we're gonna take a quick look at Bitcoin and have a look at the price action and see what's been going on over the last few days. So, first of all, let's take a look all the way back down here, where we can see this massive drop here, right? Now this, as many of you will know, started off with the whole China announcements. First of all, was the rumors. If you can see here, just when Bitcoin was at the all-time high, there was rumors that China was gonna, ban all Bitcoin exchanges and so on, and that kind of started the whole kind of bearish movement in the market. And then came, I think, Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan, made some sort of tweet or something, which you know, added to the kind of FUD around. And then also China did go ahead and close down some Bitcoin exchanges, which then added to the whole kind of negative sentiment here. But they didn't close down the two main exchanges, and they, for some reason, gave them, a month or two of extra trading days. So it seems like, you know, it seems like it was FUD, and China isn't gonna, ban Bitcoin or anything like that. And as soon as the market kind of realized that, we had a nice kind of bounce back up off the bottom here. This is going back all the way on the 15th of September. And since then, the market's just been kind of slowly just been kind of finding an area of support. As we can see here, this is a key area of support that was discovered basically after this bounce. And then after we found it, basically the price was kind of comfortable in this zone here. There we had the top here at 4,000. Okay, all the way until we broke it the other day. Okay, now we broke it on the 28th of September. Okay, which is 2 days ago. Today's Saturday, the 30th of September. And as soon as we broke it, this was a key area to break because we're talking about $4,000 here. All right, so it did break $4,000 here, but it was just like wicks, and it was just kind of small wicks that kind of fell back. Or I suppose it was more than wicks. It was, it didn't break it for a long time, but here was a clear break to the upside of 4,000, right? And as soon as we kind of came up here, up towards 40, 42.50. Surprise, surprise, there is another announcement, this time from Korea, South Korea, saying they're going to ban all ICOs. Well, they didn't actually say they're going to ban ICOs, all right? It was just kind of an announcement that they're going to ban ICOs based in South Korea. So they're going to ban, ICOs and ICO fundraising that are based just in South Korea, right? Which is going to be like a really small amount of the total number of ICOs if you think about it, right? But that in itself, caused a lot of FUD, and there was a lot of people kind of saying, "Oh, Korea's going to ban all ICOs," and so on and so forth. So this obviously started the whole FUD selling here, which is much smaller than what we can see here. If we can see from the top to bottom here, was a total loss of 40% of Bitcoin's actual total value, market cap. And here we lost a total of 7.5%, which is, it's a lot smaller of an impact. The reason why, there's a couple of reasons why. I guess, technically we can say we found support here at the top. Many traders will say, oh well, this was just a key support area here. Yeah, so the technical traders would have said, okay, well, this support zone has broken. When the price is coming down, they would have said, okay, this support area here, which if did find support here, has broken, so the next support area would be here. Okay, so that's on the technical level, right? And we can say we found the cloud support. If we look at the 2-hour cloud, let's see if that no, if we look at the 4-hour cloud, no. Okay, we could say it kind of found cloud support here on the 1 hour, right? So that's on a technical level. On a fundamental level, we can kind of basically say that this South Korea news, it was blown over within a day. Within a day, because most people realize, there's people putting out YouTube videos, people that do a lot of fundamental analysis. Most people kind of then realize that um, it was all FUD, and the news wasn't really that relevant. It wasn't that big of a news. It was just ICOs just based in South Korea, right? So as soon as people kind of realize that, now the price is kind of bounced up here. Okay, and what it's done is created a nice kind of it's usually known as a reversal pattern, but here I guess it's not really a reversal pattern because the price is going up anyway. As we can see here, the price is generally going up from here. We draw like a nice, can draw it like that. Okay, this is like just a support line here or a trend line. Okay, the price has generally been going up, so it's not really a reversal pattern. However, if we look at a 30-minute chart, what we can see, there is a pattern going on here. And if I get rid of some of these lines just to make things clearer for you, I'll show you there is a pattern forming here, and it's actually just been completed, this pattern, so it's been confirmed, and that is the head and shoulders pattern. Okay. Okay, that was totally wrong. Okay, let me do this again. Just 1 second. All right, because it's usually the head and shoulders is usually coming from the top, right? Hence why it's a reversal pattern. But here you can see we're coming from the bottom, right? But that doesn't mean that it's still not a head and shoulders pattern, because we can see there is a clear left shoulder here, clear head here, and a clear right shoulder here. Obviously, usually head and shoulders pattern is the other way around. This is known as an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Usually the normal head and shoulders pattern is a reversal pattern, which means the market's going to come down. The inverse head and shoulders pattern, which is this one, if it completes, it means the market's going to resolve itself in a bullish sense, right? So we can see here, this is the neckline here. All right, so this line here is the neckline. Okay. It's usually, ideally if it's straight, that's perfect, but sometimes it's not straight, as we can see here. It goes diagonally, slightly diagonally. But, it's come down here, created the left shoulder, bounced off this trend line here, okay, come up, created the right shoulder, and now what it's doing is it's actually if I bring this line up here to follow the actual neckline here, you can see, I'm going to zoom in on the 15-minute time frame here. It's actually jumped up above the neckline here and come back down and confirmed the support. Okay, so where is it here? So as it's come up, it's broken that neckline, come back down and confirm this support zone here, and then moving up again. Okay, so that's the head and shoulders pattern that has been completed now, and we can, well and truly say that we've completed that pattern, which means it's great. We're going to resolve it to the bullish side. So the bearish sentiment in the market has definitely subsided now, and now what we need to do is look further. Okay, so we've come out of this whole zone here. This whole area here, we've now come out. So now let's look at the bigger picture to see where is the price at, and where are we going, and where are we going to find, in terms of the semi long term, where we're going to find the support, the resistance, so where can the price go, how far can it go, right? And I mean, for me personally, I don't really look at day trading, so I'm not going to like zoom into the 5-minute and 15-minute and say, oh, this is where you can buy and sell within the next few hours. No, I mean, for me, it's more interesting to kind of see where you can buy and hold for the next few days or a week or so, right? It's a more of a kind of swing trading kind of mentality, right? So let's have a look at the Bitcoin since it came up here on its big rally towards the all-time high, and see where the main action was. All right, if we shrink it down a bit, we can see this whole area here is the key zone. Yeah, so for me, I mean, I'm looking at this area here, and I'm thinking, okay, this area it is proven to be like a real kind of sticky zone, right? This area here has proven to be the sticky zone in the past, right? So, I mean, or maybe if we bring it down a bit, it's more kind of this zone here we're talking about, because you can see this zone here is where a lot of the price action has been happening, and we've been kind of sticking in the zone. You can see here, sticking in the zone here, and once again we've kind of been in this zone here again, right? And if you look at the price a couple of days ago when we were bouncing off the bottom here, um, where did we bounce off of? We bounced off the bottom of this zone. You can see here we bounced off the bottom of this zone, right? So this zone is a crucial area. It's a crucial area, if you're below it. It's a crucial area if you're in it, and it's a crucial area if you get above it, right? Because if we get above this zone here, we're more than likely at least gonna hit this line here, the all-time high. Nine, 9 times out of 10, if we get out of this zone here, we're going to hit this at least. And if there's enough momentum behind us, we might bounce off it, and we're more than likely going to break this all-time high. It might not happen straight away, because as you can see before, like a couple of months ago here, this all-time high zone here, um, this all-time high, how many times did we approach this? I mean, we approached it once here, we didn't fully touch it. We approached it twice here. We approached it 3 times here, 4 times here, and 5 times. And then on the 5th time, we kind of broke through, right? And we were kind of in that zone for, let's have a measure, right? In this zone for, 60 days. It took us really, once we hit this zone, it took us 2 months to break through, right? And we've got a similar situation here. If you look at the whole pattern, come up to the all-time high, and then it's kind of had a nice big sell down like we had here, sell down here, and now we're in a similar pattern where we've touched the all-time high once, we sold down all the way down from there, and that was a sharp sell down. And now we're kind of slowly recovering. Now we're in the key zone here, like we were before, but once we break out of this zone here, then we can expect to kind of bounce off the top of this zone here. Like you can see, if I zoom in here, you can see once the price breaks up above this zone, it comes back down, bounces off the top of it, comes back up, hit the all-time high, came back down. It kind of found a bit of support here as well, and here again it does find a little bit of support on the top of this zone here, right? So that's a key area to recognize. Okay, now if you're thinking, okay, I'm really not too bothered over the next like 24 hours or even the next couple of days or a week. I want to know where Bitcoin is going, in the next couple of months, in the next half a year. I mean, obviously, no one can kind of give you 100% guarantee, because as we can see here, there's a lot of political things, fundamental factors in the market that are trying to suppress the price of Bitcoin all the time. There's a lot of announcements from countries and political bodies and financial institutions, the Jamie Dimons and so on, that they're always trying to kind of battle against Bitcoin. And that is for 2 reasons. The number one reason is, in terms of the countries and things, a lot of these kind of controlling, authoritarian states, they're probably scared of Bitcoin. They're probably scared of the kind of innovation and power that it gives to the people. Because at the end of the day, a lot lot of nations, they just want to keep power to themselves, right? They want to be the ability to control money is the ability to control power, if you think about it, right? Because the power is in the money and in the control of money, right? So if you lose the ability to control money, that's very, very scary for a lot of nations, right? Also, that's scary for banks. That's scary for banks as well, right? Because if you can all of a sudden, give people the ability to transfer money globally very, very fast and very, very cost effectively and eliminate the need for like the banking system, then obviously that's very scary for them, right? So that's why there's a lot of kind of negative press, okay, from certain institutions. But anyway, um, if we take a look at the trends that's been created over the last few months, right? So what we can see is before we got here, we were on one trend. We could say we were on this trend here, right? This trend here. Okay. You might say, okay, well, Amin, this trend has clearly been broken here. But I mean, what I would say is, look, if you zoom in here, these are just wicks. These are just wicks, guys. Okay, so you don't really count this zone here. Okay, if you really kind of look into it, then if you look at the line chart, then you can see clearly there's no kind of, it doesn't even go near the trend line here. Okay, so this was one trend that was created here, and we were riding this trend. We could say, let's say, let's measure the move here. We could say, all right, we've been riding that trend for 114 days, all right. And since then, we've kind of created a new kind of movement up here, and this is creating, we're still on an uptrend here, but although a lot of people might think, oh, the bearish sentiment in the market is beginning, right? This is actually creating a new trend, and it's even more aggressive than the old trend. All right, because you got to think about it now. Like, as we go up in price, we're going up in like multitudes. We're going up exponentially more than what we were before. I mean, here we're going up a few $100, right? When we're going up here, we're going up like $1,000 or so. Yeah. Here we're going up now a few $1,000s, right? And when we go up from here, it's probably going to be more, right? I mean, we're really and truly, we're on the road to like 10K eventually, right? And so if you think about it that way, we're gonna go up like more steeply, right? Until the actual bear market comes in, which we're not in at the moment. Um, we're just gonna kind of continue going up this new trend here that's been created. We might, I don't know if we're gonna come down now and touch it again. We could when we come to this all-time high zone here. Let's tell you what. Let's have a look at the. Let's get rid of that. 1 second. Look at the 12-hour chart. If I take this zone here, I know this isn't the all-time high, but I'm just trying to take the key kind of resistance zones here. If we take this zone here, okay, what we could be doing here, and in fact I think we are, is we're just creating a huge ascending triangle here. Okay, and ascending triangles is a pattern that usually resolves itself to the bullish side. So what I mean by that is, usually ascending triangles, they kind of trade within the triangle and then kind of start to resolve itself on the bullish side, and then pop out and they come back down, test this zone, and then continue up again. Okay, so ascending triangles usually, now I'm not saying this is always going to happen, but most of the time ascending triangles should resolve themselves bullishly, especially in Bitcoin. I've seen, because Bitcoin, it's just got such a kind of bullish, as long as there's no kind of FUD around, Bitcoin is like a beast, right? Compared to the altcoins and stuff like that, Bitcoin just is a beast. It just kind of drives through things, right? So as long as there's no other kind of news and stuff like that, I know we've got the other kind of hard fork coming and stuff, but really and truly, the hard fork didn't really affect it a huge amount last time. And you know, it didn't take like a lot of market cap away from Bitcoin when Bitcoin Cash was released. In fact, the price just went up and up. So I'm not expecting this hard fork to be like a major thing. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, so if this is an ascending triangle, which it is, and it resolves itself to the bullish side, which kind of expecting it to do, then the question is, you know, how far do we, you know, how far do we expect it to go up? Now, one of the ways you can measure this is basically what you can do is take the line from the bottom of the ascending triangle, all right, to the top, right, and then measure that same amount from the top of this ascending triangle, okay, and it will give you a price figure. Okay, we can see here 7,090, right? But I mean, you could draw this same triangle, and I'm just giving you some price, some kind of projections here, right? If it goes past that zone, then you could take the line down to the bottom here, where the price is at the bottom, because some people will draw the beginning from here because this is where the breakout is. Some people will draw it from here because this is where the actual bottom is. Yeah, you could say this is the bottom of the ascending triangle because this is the bottom of the trend line here also, right? So most people would probably draw it from the bottom of this trend line. All right, so you could take this line and bring it up here. Now where do we go? We're heading up towards 8,000. All right, if we take this and straighten up, we're basically pretty much at 8,000. Okay, so that gives us a projection in price. Okay, so I don't want to go too deep into it because there's other things you can do. I can start using Fibonacci levels, like for example, all right, let's do this. Okay, let's use a Fibonacci just to kind of, you know, kind of see how this works. Okay, so if we take this zone here and measure the Fibonacci extension here, all right, we can see basically it touched the price almost perfectly. Right, the price action went to the 261.8 level. Okay, so if we use that same philosophy and kind of measure the Fibonacci extension from here to there, right, and okay, right, and we've got that, right, and now if we take this line here, right, take it from the bottom here to the top here, all right, and now let's see where this line goes to, because all right, there you go. So this line again is pretty much, if we straighten out it comes up a bit, all right, and you can, this Fibonacci is probably not perfect if I draw it from, because I'm getting the wicks here, you see. So there you go. So you can see the Fibonacci extension is basically saying there's two things now, right? There's two factors now that is giving me the same answer, and in basically in trading that's called confluence, right? There's two areas of confluence here, right? So we can at least expect the price to gravitate towards the 8,000 area, right? And I mean, if it was me, if I was holding bags of Bitcoin here, I'd be keeping a close eye personally on the RSI levels, okay, especially on this one here, and I'll be looking at the you know, the 12-hour and the 1 day. You see the 12-hour came up here, got overbought and started selling down. As the price approaches this level here, I'll be keeping a close eye on the RSI levels. If the RSIs are not looking overbought, especially on the higher time frames, then I would probably just scale out just a small part of my position here, because I'm probably expecting the price to gravitate towards 10,000, guys. And if you notice here, the second the 300 and let me fix this properly. If you notice here, the 361.8 extension level is basically almost at 10k. Sorry guys, I like fiddling with the Fibonacci just to kind of, you know, when I personally, you know, there's people draw the Fibonacci in different ways, but when the numbers match up, that's when you can kind of be fairly sure that, all right, that's the right kind of level. So the next level on the Fibonacci is 10K, 10K, and that's a big psychological level, guys. So we might kind of have a sell down here, and then we might have a final push towards 10K as well, right? So anyway, guys, look, this video is getting really long, and I didn't want it to kind of, this is, I didn't want this video to go really long. I want to do a Ethereum analysis video as well, because the way Bitcoin has been acting is a clear kind of, has a clear impact on Ethereum as well. And a lot of people that have been buying Ethereum over the last few months, they don't realize that it's actually underperforming Bitcoin. So, the better coin to be in was Bitcoin. But I think that's about to change now, guys. I think that's about to change, guys. Because if we take a quick look, let me just give you a quick preview here with Bitcoin against Ethereum. Actually, let's look at Bitcoin against the dollar first, all right? So we can see here, Ethereum, okay, against the dollar, you can say, okay, well, it had its all-time high here and came back down, the same as Bitcoin did. But then it kind of, as Bitcoin was going up, Ethereum was kind of going up in dollar value as well, right? So you could have the argument that, okay, Ethereum was a good coin to be in. But look, since then, it's kind of dropped as well, right? But that's irrelevant, because if you look at Ethereum against Bitcoin, it hasn't been going up really at all. It's just been on a nice kind of downtrend here, right? And I feel right now, right, if you take this trend here, I feel as soon as this trend, and again, guys, I'm not taking the wicks here because they're overbought, oversold zones. I'm not really interested in them, right? If you take this zone here, right, I think, guys, we're on the verge of Ethereum, and there's a few fundamental announcements, few fundamental things that happen with Ethereum, so that are going to push the price higher, in my opinion, as well, right? I honestly think we're on the, within the next couple of weeks, we're going to see a big push to the upside in Ethereum against Bitcoin. Okay, and let me just see something, guys. Let's see some of the trends here. Okay, if we do this, I'm big on the trends, guys. So look, if we take this trend here, all right, if we take this trend line here, okay, and just extend it out a bit. Now, this isn't a proper trend line. Most people would say, okay, that's not a proper trend line, but it highlights areas of interest. That's what it does. Okay, so we take this and follow it through. Okay, then we can look at this trend here, right? And look at where it bounces off. Look at where the price bounces off. Okay, it's almost like, it's almost bang on. It's bang on, because you look at this trend here. Okay, okay, we extended it out. Okay, cut through here, and this downward trend here, which is now the short-term downtrend. We're not using the one from the top here. We're using this one that's been created here, because look, it's had 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit, 4 hit, now 5 hits of this trend line. It's definitely a solid trend line, right? It kind of X marks the spot, right? So on this X here, it's definitely an area of confluence here, right? Right, because it's had a reaction off that zone. Now, that is telling me something, guys, right? That is telling me two things. Okay, two things: that this trend line is definitely solid, and this trend line here, right? If we extend it out, right? Obviously, this is the bottom here, guys. This bottom has been discovered here, right? Barring some huge, crazy fundamental announcement, this is the bottom here for Ethereum against Bitcoin. Now, this is telling me two things, guys. This trend line, yeah, once it breaks, we're gonna have a clear, break. Basically, this is gonna be like a big psychological thing for the market, right? Now, another thing is like if we, let's say, this support zone here, if we draw this support zone out here, extend it out, we could expect, once we have a break, we could expect Ethereum to come back down, have a bounce off this trend line, and as we go back up, where should you be looking to sell in the short term before you buy the dip again? Now, I would say this trend line here would be a good sign because it's, again, there's an area of confluence. There's an area of confluence, I would say, with these tops right here, top, top, top. You see these tops? These tops, there's an area of confluence here. Okay, I know there's a lot of lines now going on, but you can see this kind of area of confluence here. Boom, there. You see, so if you're looking to buy Ethereum and you think, okay, look, I'm going to buy the break, buy when it tests the resistance again, and then I'm going to make a quick, like, 15% here before I buy the dip again and hold Ethereum for the long term. Because this really and truly, guys, in the long term, if I get rid of these lines now, in the long term, we could be doing well. And the key thing here, guys, is, guys, we're going to be doing well against Bitcoin. And as we know, Bitcoin is on its way up. All right, so let me okay, so Bitcoin is generally on its way up. Yes, we're going to have a test of this all-time high, but eventually I'm expecting Bitcoin to break out this all-time high, guys. Okay, because like we could go deeper into it and look into kind of Elliott wave theory and stuff like that, and so we're in the fifth leg for the Elliott wave and so on. But I'm not going to go into that today. But in general, I'm kind of bullish on Bitcoin, very, very bullish on Bitcoin, and expecting it to go up over the next few months, maybe into past the winter, into the spring of next year, maybe into the summer of next year. Who knows? Who knows? But there's a lot of coins now. If you look at DigiByte as well, expecting DigiByte to start performing against Bitcoin, and we all know if DigiByte starts to go up, we're looking at thousands of percent, possibly, right? It might be even a few 100%, but who knows? There's a lot of coins here, 10x pay. Anyway, guys, this is going too deep into it now. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it here for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed this, guys. If you did enjoy this, give me a thumbs up. If you want me to do any kind of TA on any of the coins you guys are holding, then leave a comment in the comment box below and just let me know. Okay, I mean, I want you to have a look at, I don't know, like Neo or NXT or something, or whatever it is you guys are holding. I'll have a look at it, and that's it, guys. And yeah, let me know what you got, what you guys think, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.